know there are black growers. That was the fucked up part.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm not the only one that grows. That's why I'm saying, why am I the only one in the industry? Why me?
Yeah.
Of all people? And I don't even know if I'm the only one. I just can't. I haven't run into.
It was a point you were trying to make.
Yeah, I haven't run into nobody.
Yeah. You feel like you're gonna be in it forever like that? Is that like your calling, future?
I mean, like I said, I'm a real like this might even be the wrong word for it, but like I'm a real like analytical person. As in like I like to analyze like my life as I go through it. You know, I don't like to just like be like, oh, the past is the past and you gotta move on. I like to try and like figure out why I did shit wrong.
Yeah, me too.
And like I try and lean into things that are like, all right, well, this is like I grew up where you might have gotten this aspect too, like where you're supposed to have a job. It doesn't matter if you like it or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I just feel like you have to do that. It's not even about a job. It's like you're supposed to just like
you have to provide.
Struggle, but you also have to like struggle a little bit. You have to like work hard at stuff. Right. It was like a sports thing.
Right.
I think it was a sports thing for us.
So like, and I think it might even have been a cultural thing of like when we grew up, like
the time.
Yeah, like, and now, like having a job in a field that I'm interested in, that I'm knowledgeable in, I can understand why you're supposed to like what you do.
You know what I just kind of realized as we're talking about this? Because, you and me have this relationship, and I bet you have it with a couple other friends, especially in this game, where it's you kind of push each other. Like when things go wrong, obviously I'll listen and like we're friends and stuff, but at the same time I'm like, dude, you know what you got to do? You go after it. You like, and fucking, how many people had the fucking HLV, the Hopslatin virus, like the plant disease, and you tell you like you got to start a new spot, like whatever. How many times have you had to start over again? That's like a thing, is starting over again, failing. Like us that are like, I guess kind of have a leg up, I would say. Not trying to brag on that, of just like knowing about strains or what it takes, whatever. It kind of is that, right? We talk about struggle a lot.
I feel like
with that, it's like struggle provides growth and success. Is failing.
If you can accept the failure.
It's a good point, and that's kind of what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, like
analyzing what you did wrong. Yeah.
So like, you could fail and keep failing, and that don't necessarily mean you're ever gonna get there.
Right.
So like, there's this thing in business I had told you the other day, like hurry up and fail.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's hard to do that. Like, if for anybody, like I personally like to watch like shit like Shark Tank and shit like that.
Yeah.
And they sort of say that kind of the same thing. Like your first business might not be the one that makes you rich, but if like, and then there's a lot of like because I'm in music, I hear a lot of shit, and there's a lot of
10,000 hours.
The 10,000 hours thing, but it's also like I love the 10,000 hours shit. But
yeah,
honestly, I live my life by that shit. But it's more of a Sean guy.
Good. It's you're talking about 10,000 hours and like analyzing and not just fucking up, and you could just keep fucking up.
It's gone.
We'll talk more about like because I asked you about if you're gonna be in this like growing in the legal markets, like as a grower. Is that where you see yourself dealing with plants?
I mean,
because I missed that when I was growing. I'd miss just like being able to, dude. I used to just chill in the room. Our flowering rooms were only Rick Ross. I used to just play Rick Ross playlists. So I would just, when I was in the flower room, it was just bumping. Oh, and then when I was in the veg room, it was like all calm. Different moods for myself. I'd go into different rooms.
I used to play music. Sometimes I play music when I clean there.
Yeah.
But when I'm with the plants, I don't play music anymore. I usually listen to podcasts. I try to learn while I'm at work, trying to get that double payment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
And if I can't work while I'm working, then I'm gonna work while I'm working.
Yeah. Yeah, right on.
You know what I mean? Like I try. I'm real big. Like I said, that 10,000 hour shit is big to me. Like,
yeah.
I feel like there's not enough hours in the day in order to get what you want to do done.
Think about any OGs that we know have put more than 10,000, but just it's not. People who put 10,000 hours in this game, there's not that many of them. Even like the ones that whine, they're like, "Oh, I don't want to." Like people that don't want to put their face on the podcast and stuff. And it's like, dude, like you gotta, if you're going through 10,000 hours, I think you gotta be able to put your face on like shit.
That's that thing like you said about pain, bro. Like I think only athletes really experience this shit. I could be wrong, but I think only athletes experience that point where you push your body to the point of non-existence
Yeah, and
almost.
you learn about your body and what it can
And
really go
almost
through. It's kind of crazy.
like you know what I mean? Like there's almost for some people, I don't want to say who, but some people like there is no other option other than to do it, no matter what. Whatever
Yeah,
it is. Like there is like
I feel like
and
I'm at that point now.
and when you get to that shit, it's like, all right, well, yeah, there will be pain.
Hmm. That's what I was saying. It's like I just grew up thinking that that was a part of life.
But it
And I don't
is.
know why. I think it could be from what you said of where we come from, and like I think there's something interesting that I'm realizing right now about like some of us who are on top of this when it comes to like, I'm not saying on top. I'm saying of like know a thing or two about strains, and it's hard to like bullshit us with certain things with weed. And I think it's because we have that in us of like, dude, like I've seen these things, I've fucked these plants up, I've paid too much for that, I've lost this, whatever, to like you just can't fool me on it. I think it's because of the failures,
Yeah.
you
Like
know?
that I
This
mean,
shit is full of failures.
yeah.
And like a lot of us are still doing it. A good grower out in Rhode Island told me that of like because like everyone worries about certain things, especially now a lot of growers are going out of business. But either way, it's like if you've been doing it for like I'd say 7 years right now, if you've been and you haven't stopped, it's gonna be hard. Like there were some times over these past 7 years where like yeah, I stopped.
Yo, bro, I would say like I'm not even nowhere near. I would even say I'm a grower necessarily.
Yes, you are. That's
I
crazy. You
grow.
grow weed
I help
all the time.
weed grow. I help weed grow. I would never say that I would. I don't have the experience yet compared to some of these other people that I've seen do it.
Yeah, that kind of like one man show it.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm
I did that
nowhere
for 3 years.
near that type of level of running it on a full scale like operation, bro. Like I've seen that on both the corporate side and an individual side. So like for me, like I've seen so many levels of growing that I could never be like, bro, I know more than anybody. Like I know what I know,
Give me
and
some
like I'm
examples of
there,
that,
bro.
specifically when it comes to the difference and like maybe some little differences between the corporate side and like the one man show side of things.
I would say that like corporate in any industry is about the numbers being more positive than negative. And that's
Like
gotta be
P and
the
L's, like profit loss stuff.
yeah, that's gotta be the bottom line of everything.
That's why
Okay.
they call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if if that's what you can understand about it, you will be okay working in corporate industry anywhere you are. Now, specifically with weed, you would probably be better off not being like an OG or a old head like myself and you like
Yeah.
about weed, like working in the corporate industry, you probably won't like it because they're not gonna keep things to like they don't give a fuck about the smokers, basically.
Yeah.
That type of attitude.
When it comes to how they grow it or the strains they choose or like
Everything
all of
down,
it.
everything.
Yeah.
How they sell it, how they promote it, how they grow it. They like whatever you want to tell them about it,
Yeah.
that shit does not matter. Just do it. And that's how
Yeah.
you'll be successful in that industry. And like it sucks, but like that's the industry you're
And their
choosing.
numbers don't lie. I mean, everyone talks about the ones that don't do well, but
It's like,
they're
bro,
still
like
making millions, dude.
imagine you wanted to be a chef, right? And you went into McDonald's and you were trying to tell them how to make their burgers better.
Right.
They're like, I
They've been crushing it for 50
I
years.
don't care. Cook
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fucking burger.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Go to a mom and pops and make your own menu. You know what I mean? Like that's the
Yeah.
type of shit that they would tell you to do because that's where you could have that freedom to improve that company. But guess what? When you get big enough, guess what you're gonna want to be? Corporate.
Why is that?
Because once you get big enough and make enough money, that's why you go corporate to make more money.
Mm. And that's not you're not talking about selling the business.
No, I'm
You're
talking
talking
about that's
about
how you think that McDonald's started off saying they wanted to be corporate? No, no. They just started off making their money, and when it became too much, they needed more
that was
of
the only thing
this,
that
they
they
need
needed
more
to
of
do or
that.
just
Now
get rid of
you
all
got
of their
it.
fucking
Now you need
stores.
more workers. Now you need more stores. Now you
Yeah.
need more managers. Now you need HR.
And a
Now you
corporate
need
system is the only way to be
it's the only
successful
way to
in that
keep it
capacity.
together. You know what I
That's
mean?
interesting.
So like for you to be like,
Don't you think some of these big dispensaries and stuff and these big companies that are failing went to that too quick though? They didn't have any grassroots beginnings.
I don't think any corporate dispensaries are failing.
Please elaborate on that. I don't. I will have a rebuttal for you, but explain yourself.
What do you describe them as failing? Closing down some stores?
Yeah.
McDonald's closes, 7-Eleven closes stores. So what?
Hmm. Okay.
If you're a corporate and you're doing it right, you're selling your name and your brand and you're putting people in stores so they can franchise it.
What about all these growers and things like that?
Oh, we're talking
Oh,
about
so you're
like,
talking about dispensaries, not growers.
we're talking about people like companies that are like cookies, for instance. Like
Mm-hmm.
they made it corporate and then they sold the name like 7-Eleven where you could franchise your own dispensary as a cookies dispensary.
And I think you have to be full vertical when you do that,
yeah,
right?
so like that's
So it's a dispensary and you grow.
right, but cookies
outsource
is
some
making
stuff.
money off of you renting their name. Just like
Yeah, the likeness.
7-Eleven does when they franchise out a fucking store. Like, you see a good 7-Eleven and it's got all the fucking signage up and everything's clean and everybody's in there. You got some kids working behind the thing and there's some white people, fucking black people, all managers and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
they're a fucking a corporate store. What they're doing is they're trying to sell that to somebody who's like a mom and pops that want to franchise that, and they'll rent the store, and now they got to keep up with everything out of pocket. Now they'll give you everything to get, but you got to pay for it now.
Yeah.
So now if you are good at doing what you're doing and you're franchising that store, you can make a profit, but the chances are you'll eventually want to move or do something else or get
Yeah.
out of your lease. And then it goes back to being a corporate store, and they spiff it up, and I've done it all. I've worked in every corporate
Yeah.
industry. This is how they do it, man. Like Burger King, McDonald's, they're all franchised out. Like that's why they come in and there'll be a guy that buys up 10 fucking Burger Kings.
Yeah.
And he'll just run them all like Rick Ross, Shaq, all of them
And
guys.
Chris
They
Brown
buy
does
up
that
fucking.
too, right? Yeah.
They're buying up franchises because you could just go in, dump some money. Like if you got the money to clean it up, you could keep it clean. And
Yeah,
like,
you could be like, this is Shaq's Burger King.
Yeah,
That Burger King's probably been successful,
exactly.
especially if people know.
That's how people make money off of that.
That's
shit.
why like Burner goes by the fucking stores.
Mhm.
And anyone's opinions on that CMS Cap dude, he does that too. Like he tries to be that. You know what I
So
mean?
that's what I'm saying. Like if you're actually doing the business right, and you're gonna become corporate.
Yeah, it's like the only way you could go. Man, that's interesting. You know what's cool about this show? This is gonna start getting annoying to the people who listen to it, but like,
Now, and I might be wrong. I'm just saying this is what I've learned from working in corporate industries.
I'm just saying,
and, like, learning my own
try
shit,
to, I try to sometimes prep for these, and it's like never what I expect.
bro.
Like who would have fucking thought that was you're gonna tell me, man? That's interesting.
Like I
So,
said,
but
I
you
like
are
that.
saying it's the dispensaries. If I'm talking about big cultivation companies, because I know some friends that work at these companies, and they're sitting on like 80,000 pounds in a freezer, and they're
Yeah.
just fucked. But I have smart young friends that are coming
Blast
up and
that
this-
shit.
It's a whole nother conversation.
Blast that shit. Don't sit on
I tell them to
frozen
make
weed.
shatter.
Blast that shit.
They
bro.
really do think that they could sell it.
You listen. The way that the corporate companies do it is they extract that shit and they stock that shit because that shit's gold, and you can keep it longer than flour.
You're talking about like the concentrate they make, like
Any
butane has?
concentrate, don't keep flour. Like flour will go
I
bad.
miss shatter.
It's fucking harder. It's first of all, you need more space to keep the flour, and you
Yeah.
have to keep it good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's freezer burn. Like if you want to freeze it, like there's a lot of shit that like keeping it in the fucking jars too long. Like you don't never know what the temperature in the temperature outside will change the temperature inside. So like you never know what could fuck up your
Especially here.
fucking shit. Yeah.
Seasons change.
So like I'm saying, like if you want to keep it and be able to sell it one day and you don't have anything else to do with it, like extract that shit and then.
What happened to Shatter?
Till later.
I heard his equipment.
What happened to Shatter? Like, what do you mean? What happened to Shatter? Like
Why isn't it around? I miss that shit. I
people
love
don't
Shatter.
people don't buy it in a legal standpoint.
No way.
In Rhode Island, people don't. The people that will buy it don't go to the dispensary because they can probably make it themselves because they've been making it.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of
Grams
that.
of Shatter. And
It's sort of that
envelopes.
Maine and Vermont shit, that whole New England shit. Like if you've already like the more like not basic shit. Like even though I kind of think Shatter is kind of like just the way to get to it is basic. Not that it's
Like,
a
what is
basic thing. Like it's just
Explain it to
fucking
me real quick.
concentrate that's broken. Like it's just,
Oh, so it's just like
it's just slabbed out and fucking
from butane.
yeah, and then you just shatter.
I want it.
I mean, it's just the same shit. It's the same shit you could put in a cart. It's just
It's just a different
It's just
consistency.
it's just shattered.
Hmm.
From what I know, like I said, I don't know everything, but like from what that's what they when we were trying to make it, they told us like extract this shit. That's why we don't really do it because it's like, well, we're already doing carts.
Right.
We're already
Carts
doing.
seem to be the
We're already.
thing that like what you're saying. If you have all that stockpile, like turn it into
Yeah.
carts type shit.
I mean,
But that's another expense
unless
you
you
have.
want to go buy a rig and you want to like literally like do dabs like that, like then it's the market for you. But like
They say it's
and
5% of the, or no, what is it?
it's also
20% of the consumption of cannabis in the legal market is cartridges. And I think it's something like, and like 60s flower or something.
I mean, I want to say, like, my personal opinion, I think that will eventually go up only because
I think hash rosin's going to take over. Just my opinion.
I think that, listen, most people in the world smoke hash.
Yes.
So once America catches up to that, will we go that route?
I think that's going to be high-end weed.
We haven't.
That's like what good smokers love, like the expensive weed and what Piff's going for. Like people who like Piff will end up loving hash rosin, I think.
I mean,
and it has so much to do with the packaging.
It could be. It could be because I'm an '80s baby. I like flower. Flower is king to me. Flower will always be king to me. I've smoked all the other shit,
and that's why they keep saying it's 60% of the market.
But at the same time, it's like I'm not into doing the rigs and stuff like that. But I do like the pens. So like that's why like I feel like eventually that it'll go into that market where we don't smoke flower. I don't know when. Like
you guys did live resin pens, right?
Yeah, we got all of this.
You had the hash rosin stuff too?
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh, I want to try one of those. How much do those retail for out of the stores?
I'm not the guy.
I think it's like 70. I think it's $70 a half gram.
I am not the guy.
It's expensive, but it's good shit. See, that's the thing that's holding it back is that it's expensive product.
It's a store.
I just think that those things change. I think that trends change, and you know, people are. That's the cool thing. So if it's the cool thing. In 10 years, it's gonna be everyone's gonna catch on to it.
I think that
Puffco's are making all these ways to make it more accessible for people to consume it.
I think that having the rosin and the pens and like you said, like Puffco's and stuff like that, having ways to smoke it easier without having a torch and like doing all that shit, like that's been the wave that's making everything more accessible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's cleaner. You don't smell like a blunt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what people really got turned off from back in the day is they don't want to smell like a blunt. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like I feel like that's why like people that don't usually smoke, like, oh, I smoke pens. And I'm like,
yeah.
Really?
Or eat edibles.
Yeah. Also,
which is interesting.
People, edibles are not food. Edibles are not food. Like, eat something and then eat your edibles.
Yeah, dude. I have these cookies from my buddy downstairs, and I just want to eat them so bad. I can't. It's too potent.
Bro, yeah, don't eat edibles and drive either if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, man. We've been talking about that a lot too. Where I try to like education and safety is key. Like so many people get into this industry and want to take it for sleep or whatever, and it's like they just need to be. You gotta consume the right way, man. Mm-hmm. You gotta consume the right products. And that's why I do like Rhode Island again, is because like that's actually a place where the dispensaries know what's up. A lot of the people know what's up. They do. Why are you looking at me like that then? Why don't they?
Explain. Well, who knows?
I think compared to Connecticut, Massachusetts, all these places on the East Coast,
I would say we have less dispensaries, so that's easier to say.
That's a good answer.
If we had more dispensaries, if we had like 100 dispensaries,
there's a lot of hot chicks that are like, oh my God, I love this cookie strain.
Yeah.
You know, where like,
it's like, bro, what?
I know. And like, that's the thing where it's like, there should be more educators in there, but I don't know.
And like, that's to go back on what I said.
Got good shit, though.
To go back on what I said about Massachusetts, I feel like there's too many dispensaries and people that could sell weed to start off, which is why you have that bad taste in my mouth about Massachusetts. Now, don't get me
Right.
wrong. I bought weed off of Nova Farms. I made songs for Nova Farms and South Adams and them.
Yeah.
Like, I got no complaints about the top end quality of weed that is there. Is
Mm-hmm.
top end quality, and everybody's doing their thing. Like, to have a weed company is not fucking easy. To grow weed in at a high level, and I'm not talking like people like I feel like people think these growers are just like growing like 20 plants,
Yeah.
like, and being like, oh yeah, this is like
Like, how many plants do you guys grow at cultivating? All right.
hundreds.
Yeah.
Like, to keep
Forget
it
that.
simple, like,
Forget that.
and like the turnover is very quick for what we're getting plants in and out.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I just want everybody to know, like, it's not easy for any company to do this shit. And like, we're working with living products.
Yeah.
It's not like we're not killing stuff. Well, I mean, we are. We eventually kill it.
It's one of the saddest parts of it that you have
Eventually
to get good
kill
at.
it.
You have to get good
You
at.
know, but
Yeah.
like,
Gotta say bye-bye.
yeah. So like, in sort of like we're like the farm and the slaughterhouse,
Yeah.
but we're not the grocery store. If that
Yeah.
makes sense to come to people. Like, imagine if your meat, like, it probably does. I probably just fucked up. But imagine if your meat said like some like a brand name on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When you go to the grocery store, like,
Yeah.
instead of just like Walmart or Stop and Shop.
Yeah, they do, but
Nah,
I get what
like,
you're saying.
You know what I
and
mean? Like,
Yeah, I think that's all gonna change though. A lot of that.
I
You
think
know,
it
look at
would.
cookies as a full vertical too. Like,
It
but
would.
that's
Yeah.
just money.
If it would.
That's just money.
But that's
They
what I
have a
mean.
lot
They
of
didn't
money.
do that till they got corporate. Like, you know what I mean? Where they could put their own
That
stores
proves
out
your
there.
point.
Like, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
Like, they had to
That's the
be
goal.
in dispensaries
the goal.
doing their thing at such a high level that they could just pay for their own stores.
And have it be a real estate investment.
Yeah, and then you have to have your state be legal enough to do that for you. Like, right now, we can't do that.
Yeah, it still costs a lot to be a legal company in Rhode Island, right?
No, I'm just saying, like, our legal companies can't. We can't just sell out of our. Like, we can't just sell to anybody.
Right.
You
And
know,
then you don't
we
even have a lot
have
of
to sell the
dispensaries. That's such a fucked up
dispensaries,
market.
bro. You know what I mean? Like, so
Clearly, the dispensaries have
we
crazy
can't just
buying power.
we just can't open up a storefront and sell weed.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's kind of like what would change everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it would make things more exclusive.
Yeah. Hopefully that happens.
I don't know if we want that to happen. That makes it even harder for us. You know what I mean?
Competition wise.
No, like, just running the business. Now we gotta have a fucking storefront. We gotta fucking put people out there. We gotta pay for that shit. Like, that's rent
go
and shit.
corporate.
Like, that's what I mean, bro. Like,
Yeah.
So like, the reason why I'm with them is because, you know, this mom and pop's like, not my mom and pop's,
But they feel like a mom and pop establishment.
Yeah. So like, you know, man, it's all family, and like, they grow weed the right way, and like, or at least the way that I feel like weed should be grown. Like, and I'm not the one making the decisions. I just like the way that it's done to such a level that, like, hell yeah, I would do anything to work here, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Dude, thank God for good weed, bro. I've been waiting for this headband forever. Fucking nice hanging with you. Fucking doing
Bro,
the pod and smoking good weed. Dude.
I just want to let everybody know, smoking bad weed will make you not want to smoke weed anymore.
100%.
Like,
yeah, and you learn that from getting those good batches.
Yeah,
dude.
like,
this is what smoking weed's all about.
There's been plenty of times where I was like, yo, this shit ain't even worth it.
Yeah, it's still, I thought that weed's still out.
And then you get a good pack and you're like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
I wasn't
This is
fucked
what it's
up.
all about. And that's why we got into it, right?
Yeah.
That was in the beginning. Like you were saying, like, you would sell weed as whatever. And then, like, we'd get Piff. Like, get, like,
You
good
gotta
weed.
get
Like,
that.
be like, yo, check this
That's
out.
what my boy always told me. He's like, yo, get some Piff and then sell the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because somebody needs that shit. That's how you smoke nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now there's so much good shit.
Yeah.
Like, even
So
the
much
bad shit
variety
is
of good
good.
shit.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, people, it's so crazy because, like, even like Nova Farms, like, they got fucking mids. They have a fucking pack called mids. Fucking
don't
says
care.
mids on a pack,
Yeah.
bro.
That's wild.
And they sell it for cheap.
Yeah.
And so
better.
people are like, yo, all right. At first I thought they were going to still sell it for high end. Bless you.
Thank you.
You know, still sell it high end, but just call it mids. Just for, like, the
That'd be
nostalgia
hilarious.
of it.
That'd be a bad investment. Who's gonna buy that?
Could you sell good weed in a pack of mids? I think somebody's done a video on that. They probably have. Like, put some good weed in a bag that says mids. Would people buy it?
All you gotta do is give them a little for free.
Yeah, that's
Here,
kind
try
of
that.
cheat. That's kind of cheating.
How's that cheating? That's the best sales tactic of all time. Take a little bit. Call me later. It's the best sales tactic of all time. Especially with weed. I've done that forever. Here's a little bit.
But it says bad weed, though.
Yeah. See, that's the thing.
You have to say,
See,
this
that's
is
a
bad
funny-
weed. Here you go.
But you and me, I'm talking about people like you and me, but like I don't care what it says.
No,
If
so,
it's
like,
good weed, it's good weed.
On a legal market, like, it would be in a bag that says mids, right? But if it was coming from, like, somebody outside, they would have to
See,
be
that's
like,
the
yo, here's a bad bag of weed. Have it. Try it. Let me see. Let me know
That
how you
doesn't
feel
matter.
about it.
Then it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying.
You think they would take it?
Yes, dude.
I don't think. I think some people would turn it down.
So if someone was like, "Here, this is good weed and it's a bad pack," like,
No,
I'm confused.
No. So if you're selling in the Ziploc, right?
Yeah.
Your buddy comes over, blah. He's like, here's a bag of weed. It's terrible. You can have it, but let me know what you think of it when you smoke it.
I won't smoke it.
Exactly.
You're right. Nah, that happens to me all the time.
He's like, absolutely.
Someone just
not.
gave me some of their homegrown, but we run the club, so like, there's people there who
I'm just
don't have a
saying.
lot of weed, so I give it to them for
I'm
free.
just
and
saying
shit.
that would be the comparable thing to like saying like, oh, this is a bag of mids in the legal market, and it actually not being mids. I don't think anybody would buy it.
That just shows the Massachusetts wild ass market that they could like. Do
Like
shows.
it says
like
mids.
this weed will
Like
sell.
imagine
It's
it's
cheap.
mids.
People want it.
No. Imagine it's mids, and they sell it for like $60.
I don't know. Maybe that's what they're doing in New York.
Their mids that they sell at Nova is like fucking $10 for like an ounce. I don't know what it is,
Dude,
but it's
in
fucking
New
cheap
York,
as
it's
fuck.
$50 an eighth for outdoors. Literal mids, like literal mids of the fun.
$50 an eighth.
Yeah.
For what?
Before taxes.
God damn, fuck.
And
that.
good shit is like 60 an eighth.
I'm sorry, but fuck.
Before
that.
taxes. It's a different market. If you go out to New York and buy anything, it's gonna be like that. That's what I try to tell people.
I mean, yeah.
Because people are like, it's so crazy how much they spend on weed out there. It's like, you ever bought a fucking cocktail?
You
out
ever
there?
bought anything in New
Yeah.
York?
You get a cheeseburger, it's like $30, dude. Minimum.
You ever bought clothes in New York?
Right.
Don't.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. Unless you're flexing. Don't.
No, don't. Unless you love the government.
No taxes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you love paying taxes, go to New York and buy clothes.
Right.
You know? If you don't like paying taxes on clothes, come to Rhode Island.
What a shout out for Rhode Island right there, man.
Yeah, bro. We the state.
Fuck yeah,
I'm
dude.
tired of the slander.
Yeah.
All right? We got a couple bad things. A bridge.
Bridge. People say that about Connecticut all the
Yeah.
time, that throughway state.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we got pizza and shit. Good tobacco. Yale Hospital.
We have pizza, and that's all I'll say about it. I don't know if
We
it's
have shitty pizza.
Stop. I
It's
can't.
so bad.
I will not speak on it.
I will.
I
Rhode
think,
Island has shitty pizza.
and I'll eat all of it.
I guess we can end on that one.
I'll
Eat New Haven
all
pizza.
of it.
I love Rhode Island. I love being
We
a resident
steal
of Rhode
people's
Island.
pizza.
I don't.
We steal people's pizza too, bro. What? We got our own pizza. We got our own type of pizza. The fucking cold one with no cheese.
Shout out New Haven pizza.
All right.
Yeah, I heard about that shit. The pizza strips is disgusting.
Because you didn't grow up here. You don't understand.
You're gonna tell me you like pizza strips?
Yeah. You didn't grow up. I got a kid, and so I went through it twice.
You're like, hell yeah.
Bro, you don't understand about being in the summer, right? Going to somebody's birthday party, jumping in the pool, jumping out of the pool, right? Getting a cake, and then having them big ass slices of pizza, having a box of them shits with like 3 fucking layers of that shit. That shit goes in the fridge. It's there for weeks, brother.
I love how you're just explaining
kill it, bro.
why it's bad.
It's so good, bro. Bro, I'm just saying the nostalgia of it will not let me let it go. You might even just, I'm a hit.
You around? You doing anything on Friday?
Next Friday.
Yeah.
Got my kid.
All right. Well, we literally have a New Haven pizza night.
Flip it up. I'm not saying it's better, but put some cheese on it, put some little garlic on it. Bitch.
We're gonna end it here because we're about to finish it up. I'm gonna go eat New Haven pizza. Don't eat Rhode Island pizza. Everything else is cool. Rhode Island.
Rhode Island's better.